Welcome to Study Session 9. The functions of school personnel in guidance within the school system. Introduction. The school guidance and counseling program is a function of every member of the school personnel, usually offered by a team. Meanwhile, the responsibility for leadership is one of the primary functions of the school counselor. The team typically includes the school principal, vice principal, classroom teachers, parents, and other helping professionals such as psychologists, social workers, and health personnel. This study session will focus on the roles of principals and vice principals in the school's guidance program, the functions of the school inspectors in the school guidance program, the roles expected of a classroom teacher in the school guidance program, and the functions of school psychologists in the school guidance program. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to 1. Discuss the various roles of principals and vice principals in the school guidance program. 2. List the functions of the school inspectors in the school guidance program. 3. Enumerate some of the roles expected of a classroom teacher in the school guidance program. 4. Discuss the functions of school psychologists in the school guidance program. Roles of principals and vice principals in the school guidance program. A principal is seen as authority figure, a source of wisdom, and the making of ultimate decisions in the school. Thus, he is potentially the most singularly important person in the development of guidance program in school. Most staff members of the school, vice principal, classroom teachers, house masters, house mistress, and counselors think of the principal in terms of what the principal permits them to do. As Gibson 1973 noted, administrative support was ranked as the highest priority category in the establishment and development of school guidance program. It was also noted that program development and change are likely to succeed if stimulated from top rather than from the bottom up. It is clear from the above that principal support and participation are crucial to the school guidance program. Essentially, the principal's roles in the school guidance program are as follows. A. He gives clear, open financial support by making provision for staffing, facilities, and equipment for counseling in the school annual budget. B. He can communicate guidance program characteristics, achievement, and needs to ministries of education, state boards, and parents. C. He encourages and motivates his staff to help and cooperate with the counselor. D. He can refer students, staff, and parents to counselors for help. E. He can allocate time officially for counseling and reduce the teaching load of the counselor when the counselor is not full-time counselor. F. He provides suitable accommodation for the counselor in the school setting. Many of the day-to-day concerns of the running of the school, including allocation of subject, timetabling, sharing responsibility of staff, checking of records of work, and discipline, are the usual responsibilities of the vice principal. In addition to performing those functions of the principal in guidance as outlined above, the vice principal academic is the chairman of guidance committee. He co-opts some interested teachers into the committee. The school inspector. It is obvious that supervision for better school performance implies that the school inspector has to carry some major responsibilities as one of the implementing agents of the school guidance. His roles in the school guidance program should include the following. A. Assisting in the decision as to desirable guidance program activities. B. Assisting in coordinating the programs at the Ministry of Education. C. Helping teachers under his supervision to become aware of the variety of guidance programs being proposed or practiced. D. Assisting in the choice of the alternative programs that seems most suitable for the educational system, including basic education. E. Developing a plan and design that will determine the type of program to be supported financially. F. Providing assistance to teachers and principals as they begin to implement the program. G. Assisting in evaluating the program. Because of teacher turnover, School inspector should provide a continuous program of in-service education in the skills necessary to implement the guidance program by the new teachers brought into the system. The inspectors have the task of planning strategy that will help various groups in the school system to have the opportunity to examine the idea of guidance and counseling and adopt it. This is done by first disseminating the idea among the groups that will consider it, the school personnel. Furthermore, when the individual groups within the school system become convinced of its worth, then they should be given the opportunity to practice it. The practice itself becomes a part of the dissemination process because they give practical illustration to the idea. Classroom teacher. The teacher is the key and the most important professional in the school setting. His support and participation are therefore crucial to any program that involves students. Thus, his role in guidance is as follows. A. To identify students with counseling need and refer them to the counselor for counseling. B. To orientate and encourage the students to seek counselor's assistance as the need may arise. C. To receive the counseled students back into the classroom environment, support and reinforce the counseling outcomes. To discover the human potential which is significant in fulfilling not only a mission in the school guidance program, but also meeting educational responsibility of the individual society. D. To incorporate and integrate career education into subject matter taught. To develop positive attitudes and respect for all honest work done in class. J. To promote the development of positive student attitudes towards education and its relationship to career preparation and decision making. H. To provide a favorable or conducive environment to learning, as well as encouraging and supporting the creation of a motivating environment. I. To plan and direct group interactions that promote positive human relations experiences for each individual. The school health personnel. The medical practitioners and the school nurse are to provide basic preventive health services for all school children. They can identify children and staff who need special medical treatments or referrals to correction or alleviation of defects. The school counselor, principal, or other teachers also refer students with health problems to them. The school psychologist. The school psychologist identifies and works with individual children to assess learning needs, motivation, and emotional problems and consult with principals, teachers, and parents regarding individual students. Gregerson, 1977, noted 10 common roles for school psychologists as documented in the literature, which includes the following. A. Psychometrics, study and practice of mental testing. B. Clinical counselor, therapist. C. Diagnostic prescriptive consultant. D. Mental health consultant. E. Researcher. F. Organizational development specialist, social system analyst. G. Administrator supervisor. H. In-service trainer. With a growing emphasis in special education in the National Policy on Education, that integration into regular classroom is the most realistic form of special education, since children with special needs are eventually expected to live in the society. The counselor's role in the school takes on an exciting yet challenging in this regard. The counselor should be prepared to respond to a wide range of behavioral problems. Counselors and psychologists, as members of the teams, will have to consult with parents of these children with special needs. The social worker. The school social worker provides helping services for those children who are unable to make proper use of their educational opportunities and who find it difficult to function effectively in the school environment. He is also a member of the student personnel team who works with community agencies and non-school professional helpers such as physicians, lawyers, policy makers, clergymen, and so on. Counselors and other helping professions may depend on the social workers to provide broader and deeper understanding of the child, especially in regard to the home environment and the nature of the student's behavior problems. The career master. A principal should take note of the following qualities in selecting career masters or mistresses to perform the counseling role where trained counselors are not available. The chosen career master or mistress must possess the following traits. A. Wide interest in students and inquiring mind. B. Unprejudiced attitude towards work of all kinds. C. A non-authoritarian and undogmatic manner and respect for others' lifestyle. D. A tidy, orderly mind and the capacity to sift, collate, distribute a mass of material in the form of books, pamphlets, posters, and so on. E. A basic optimism and faith in the capacity of students to cope with adult life even when they have not been very successful in the school. F. Good teaching skills and flexibility regarding the need to revise or modify strategies in midstream. G. Capacity to lead small groups and allow students to explore their own ideas and ideals without falling into the temptation to praise those that may seem more worthy or in line with middle class behavior. H. The ability to listen, particularly in the interview situation, whether with students or parents. I. Willingness to experiment with new instructional methods and resources. J. A flair for public relations, that is, ability to relate and communicate well with people. Summary of study session. In this study session, you have learned that 1. The principal is seen as authority figure, as source of wisdom, and the making of ultimate decisions in the school. 2. It is obvious that supervision for better school performance implies that the school inspector has to carry some major responsibilities as one of the implementing agents of the school guidance programs. 3. The teacher is the key and the most important professional in the school settings. 4. He is potentially the most singularly important person in the development of guidance program in school. 5. The medical practitioners and the school nurse are to provide basic preventive health services for all school children. We have come to the end of study session 9. Thank you.